Hey guys, this is Incredible. Hello and welcome to another news video over here on the channel. And we've got some really interesting news that actually came out yesterday that I'm just now getting a chance to discuss. And this is all about the phenomenal ASTARTES fan film, which is set in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. So today we're going to talk about briefly what that fan film is, for those of you who aren't aware. Then we're going to get to the news, break it down, and talk about what it means. So the ASTARTES project was a 5-part fan film posted on YouTube. I'll include some clips here. Hopefully they're not taken down, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But the ASTARTES project is really one of the greatest, if not the greatest, fan films I'd ever seen. All 5 parts come out in total to about 20 minutes, but the animation and the sound and everything else is definitely professional level. This looks like a Blur cutscene or something that would belong in a really high quality AAA Warhammer video game. And that's probably the most notable thing about the ASTARTES project. In my opinion, this fan film, and this is not an exaggeration, is one of the 1 or 2 biggest influences in new fans joining the Warhammer 40,000 universe. I've had countless people tell me that they saw this amazing animation and want to learn more about the Warhammer universe. And I mean, we see lots of the best parts of Warhammer in here, from the Space Marines, the over-the-top violence and weapons, some of the stranger parts of the universe. And I mean, I even covered the ASTARTES channel last year because it was hacked and the creator lost all of their content. Thankfully, that was resolved. But even that alone brought a lot of people telling me that they're now a lot more interested in the wider Warhammer universe. And Warhammer is popular, especially among sci-fi and gaming circles, but it's not Star Wars level in popularity. So having something like this on YouTube, bringing in new fans, was great for the Warhammer brand and Games Workshop, the company that owns Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000. Anyway, just as a bit more information, the ASTARTES fan film is right now in 5 parts. I think the first part released in 2018, part 5 released last year. It was telling a story, it was ongoing, but we actually got some interesting news yesterday. And I'm actually a paid subscriber to the ASTARTES Patreon, and I got an email that says ASTARTES goes official. Big news on the Warhammer community website, with the text of the email saying, hop over to warhammercommunity.com, and that the creator was happy to announce today that the project ASTARTES will be moving forward under the Games Workshop banner, and that the project will now become an official one with the Warhammer Animations team. The project was sort of in a weird place lately. There was some complicated stuff behind the scenes, but yeah, now it's official and moved on to the Warhammer community website. So this is interesting, and I mean, initially reading that headline, I got super excited because I mean, this project will now be getting a lot more funding, most likely. There'll be a larger team working on it, so maybe that means more episodes or even more quality within the episodes. But there's definitely some questionable aspects of this. First of all, the ASTARTES project has been moved off YouTube. They were removed from the uploader's channel. You can't find them there whatsoever. Not only that, but they've been altered now on the Warhammer community site. They're only available in 720p, which on YouTube doesn't even qualify as HD anymore. They've had some sound effects and music changed. Basically, the artistic vision has been altered, which is something you're always a little bit concerned about when one of these smaller projects gets sort of subsumed by a big corporation. And I also have to wonder a little bit about what was really going on behind the scenes. I mean, not to be frank, but I very much doubt that Games Workshop could have offered any benefit to the creator of ASTARTES, who doesn't usually use his name, so I won't here, who had 10,000 patrons on Patreon. For those of you who don't know, on Patreon, basically, you sign up and pay an artist a certain amount of money a month. I have one, for example. That means he was getting at minimum $10,000 a month, and given the fact that his lowest patron tier is $2, probably a lot closer to $30,000 or $40,000. So I doubt that Games Workshop is paying him more than he was earning on Patreon, and yes, he has had to now split the Patreon from his project to other work, I guess. I think he's suspending it for now. So I wonder whether this was more of a sort of, we don't like you profiting off our brand, but instead of just outright removing the fan project, we're going to give you the option to continue it under us, which is a good approach. I mean, if a company's going to come down and decide that they don't like you making money on their IP, which some companies do, some don't, then I think this approach is better. Take the work, bring it officially into the canon and continue it rather than just remove it outright. This is something that I would have liked to see Star Wars do more often as well. Like, Star Wars is usually pretty good with fan projects, but when it comes to fan art, for example, as we've talked about on this channel, I would like to see them hire people more frequently when they make really high quality projects. I'm not talking about somebody making a new story and putting that into a fan film. That's never going to be bought by Lucasfilm, and it shouldn't. Talking about when people like Fractal Sponge make these ship designs or these ship models. Previously, under Lucasfilm, before Disney's purchasing, they would purchase some of his renders. I don't think that's something that's been happening recently, but there are so many talented artists like Fractal Sponge, as I mentioned, or E.C. Henry, that there are fan projects which deserve to be incorporated into canon and people that should be hired by Lucasfilm. You know, there's a lot of really great existing talent that they should try to snatch up if possible. This isn't about Star Wars though, so let's get back on track. So yeah, I think it's great, really amazing that Games Workshop is recognizing this amazing talent within their community, even if they are doing the unfortunate thing and sort of sticking their nose in it, making it so that the guy can't do what he wants exactly. It's much better that they bring him into the company, canonize the project, let him continue development than just saying, don't do this. We've seen tens of thousands of fan projects, whether it's Star Wars or Star Trek or wherever else, shut down. And if you're a Star Wars fan, by the way, and you think Disney and Lucasfilm is bad on fan projects, not at all compared to some other major corporations and brands out there. So if something has to happen, this is definitely the preferable approach. I will say though, taking all the videos off YouTube, that's not right. They should not do that. It's very possible that the Astartes videos need to be re-edited and changed so that, you know, all the music and whatnot is up to copyright standards of a large corporation. They only use assets they have available to them. An individual has a bit more leeway than an actual full brand supported by Games Workshop. So maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they've got some proprietary, you know, gun sounds that they like to use, but those videos need to get back on YouTube. I mean, the traffic on YouTube is just so high. The Astartes channel right now on YouTube apparently has 33 million views across 5 videos. That's almost 8 million views per video. And I think it was actually more than that with his channel being messed up when it was hacked. I mean, looking at his Social Blade, when he released his last video in April 2020, he had 10 million views that month. So this is a major source of new fans for the Warhammer 40,000 universe, and there's no way that Games Workshop gets nearly that many views in its entire lifetime. And YouTube is just a great tool to reach people that aren't already familiar with your brand. On the Warhammer community site, you're only going to get Warhammer fans. I would never visit that site, and you know, I'm a little bit of a Warhammer fan, but just never gonna happen. So hopefully we see a re-release in the proper HD quality. Hopefully they get all the mixing and the sound right and everyone can be happy. Overall, I think this is good news. I'm not as excited as I was initially when I got that email, but you know, I'm really happy for the creator. I think it's amazing to create something so incredible that it's just adopted by a company, not only as a part of the official kind of marketing, but also as a bit of canon and a part of the overall story. I mean, that would probably be the dream. So congratulations. Let me know what you guys think of this down below. Have you seen the Astartes fan film? What do you think? Anyway, until next time, guys, be safe, have a good one, and may the Force be with you.